The National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, is nearing 49 years old as we speak. But then, let's try this now. Let's try this, please. I beg your pardon. You know, the House of Reps is trying a little something new. It wants the anti-corruption studies to be inculcated into schools' curricula. And sometimes you are wondering if this is not a question of the tail wagging the dog, Mayor. National Assembly says, take anti-corruption studies into schools, start from primary school and so on and so on.
I don't agree with them. I think that is rubbish. And I will tell you why that is rubbish. You don't, because you teach somebody anti-corruption does not mean the person will grow up not to be corrupt. That is not where we should put our efforts. Our efforts is that we should strengthen agencies that are supposed to fight corruption. And we should make sure that people that are found to be corrupt are made to pay for it and punished.
Yeah.
You understand? When people know that they can get away with things, they will continue to do those things. You understand? You have to make examples of people who have been found to be corrupt. You understand? If you make examples of people that have been found to be corrupt, then corruption will come down. But it is not by going to schools and saying that, we want to teach you about anti-corruption. That does not mean that they will grow up. They are wasting their time. They should concentrate in areas where it will be effective. And that area is to not only fight corruption, to be seen to be fighting corruption. Because part of the problem that we have is that you will see people that are said to be corrupt, when they are arrested, it takes a long time for them to be brought to justice. And when justice is served, they get little or no, just few years.
A slap on the hand.
A slap on the hand. And then not only that, when they even go to jail, they get a pardon. They get a pardon, and people try to convince them to say, because of old age and all that. They get a pardon. So people do not see reason why they should not be corrupt. Because if somebody steals 200 billion, and then he uses maybe 1 billion to get a good lawyer, and then you ask him to pay a fine of whatever, or maybe 50 billion, or you collected part of the money, and the man still have about 50 billion or 100 billion to himself, he has done well. So people will see that, and they will not be discouraged to be corrupt.
Yeah, Jide, I know that in Japan it is called harakiri. So you don't wait for government to deal with you. You commit harakiri if you are accused of being corrupt. In China, it is a bullet at the back of the head. In Africa, it's different.
Yes, but we can't remain like this forever, because corruption does not allow us to fulfill our potential as a nation. Real growth and development will be hampered when resources that are meant to bring development to communities get cornered by a few of us. So corruption is a very big problem in this part of the world, and I can see why some members of the House of Reps think that, look, we should be inculcating to the hearts of our children the need to stay away from corruption, because even moral rectitude, it is in the homes that you teach moral rectitude.
If we punish corruption properly, yes, the children learn.
They will learn. But there are different routes to the market, as the Yorubas will say.
Yeah,
is one of the things that we need to do. But we also need to let the children know that corruption is bad behavior. If you tell a child not to steal in your house, you tell your child that, look, don't lie. Always tell the truth. My dad would tell me that, look, if you tell a lie, I'm going to spank you. Whatever it is that you have done, admit it, confess. When you confess, you are not likely to get punished. But Although there were occasions when even after I confessed,
You will not get double
he still
punishment.
beat me. And I'm like, but you used to tell us that if we confess that we don't, we will not suffer any punishment. You know? But so at times he will still not be able to resist the urge to spank you even after you have confessed. But the message is clear. Don't lie.
Stay away
Don't
from.
steal. Be respectful to your elders. Those things have stayed with us for so long. Now, corruption is looking like something in our country that is not even it's not a crime anymore.
Yeah.
People steal billions of naira. They are taken to court. As soon as they lose their freedom for a few days, they start saying, okay, I'm ready to refund some of what I stole.
Yeah. Yeah.
You take some of what they stole from them and you enter into
Play bargain.
plea bargain, enabling them to keep some of what they stole. You are supposed to take everything that they stole.
That's it.
That everything that they stole, you are supposed to take it.
And
when
then
you allow,
serve justice so that they can go to
yes,
jail.
they should still go to jail.
Yes.
Even after you've taken everything from them, they should still go to jail. A situation in which you take a fraction of what they've stolen. Because I don't believe, for example,
and then
when you
announce
say,
it.
oh, somebody stole, like they are at Nigeria now, they said they stole over 209 billion or so. They may not be able to quantify all of what is stolen. And still, out of what you have quantified, you took a fraction for him. The EFCC chairman was saying the other day that they managed to collect about 30 billion.
Out of a suspected 109.
109. We still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
Now, if we don't punish, if we don't send that person to jail, if we merely took the money from him, that's not justice.
That's
it's not
nothing.
justice. Because he still has a lot that
Enough.
he has kept somewhere. You will never be able to, it's just like the Abacha family. Do you think you'll be able to take everything that they've stolen? No.
That's why they are still a very powerful family.
Yes, it's
they
still
just
remain
built
a
the
family.
university.
Yes, they still have money. They
The
still have
son
money.
is the PDP.
No, the court just gave it to him now.
Yeah.
The court just gave it to him. Although the other guys said they have appealed. You know, he's been struggling to become governor of that state.
Yeah.
In 2011, he contested. It was Buhari that unilaterally dropped him as the candidate of the CPC. And for that reason, his supporters voted against the CPC and the CPC lost Kano. So we are saying that, look, corruption has reached that point in our country that we have to do something about it. Now, I don't oppose them trying to, what's it called, sensitize our children that it is wrong. It can be part of civic studies, not necessarily.
Yes, civic
Yes,
studies.
because our
Be
children
part
are
of
also
civic
going
studies,
through
I agree.
civic studies already.
Yes, because civic studies is about governance and things. Yes.
So it's more or less like social studies.
Yes, yes.
You know, that we did in those days. So it's part of civic studies, which allows the child to know his responsibilities to his country, to know why he has to be patriotic and all that. So they can still bring it into civic studies, but not necessarily carving out a subject
on its own.
Yes.
Mayor, but you remember even the House of Reps has investigated some corrupt stories.
That's what I'm saying. What did we get from it? If you remember the
Almost
fuel
nothing.
subsidy, the fuel subsidy scam, and how it became a major problem. What's the end of it?
Have you forgotten?
A lot of other
Have you
things.
forgotten off your mic?
Off your mic episode. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
I have not seen the report of that.
the
one.
problem of corruption has to do with that the state, the organs of state, do not have what it takes to fight corruption. They pay lip service to fighting corruption. They are not fighting corruption. And,
Yeah.
and you see
And the war against corruption is politicized.
it's politicized. So the problem is that if I know that I can get away with anything, I will do it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. If I know that if I do something,
I'm
I will
losing my
rule
life.
everything. And for example, in China that you mentioned, it's the equivalent of our own NAFDAC. The person that was in charge of the equivalent of NAFDAC approved, collected $50,000,
Only.
$50,000 bribe. And unfortunately, they did a syrup for kids that were found to be contaminated. The man was executed for $50,000. That is what one civil servant in
That's
Abuja
chicken change.
will give to
girlfriend.
one girlfriend that just comes to come and play. 50,000, and the man was executed. He was found guilty of corruption.
And so
and was executed.
we must do a lot about taming impunity in the country, Jide.
Yeah.
Impunity is what promotes corruption.
Yes,
That is
because
it.
people
Because people know that they will get away with it. Let me tell you something. When Buhari first came in, people were scared. You will hear people say
Initially.
people were scared
Yes, they were
initially.
scared. They were scared.
Initially, because they
Mayor,
thought
let me tell you something that someone told me. That person was working at the airport. He said the moment Buhari won the election, that the what was it called? The private jet owners, a lot of them moved their private jets away from the airport in Abuja. They were
really?
scared. Yes, they were scared.
because they thought
they
this
were
man,
scared.
They
this
thought
man,
this
he will
guy
send
will
people
come
to
for them,
jail.
this
He will
and that,
do
will
that.
jail them. They were trying to recall what he did in
Yes, as a
1994.
military
Some
officer.
of his own best friends, he jailed some of his friends back then. You know, you can't say that out of people who even donated money to their party, he jailed them.
Yeah.
And when court said release these people from jail, remember Babajashi and
Yes.
even Baba Konde, he refused to release them.
Yes.
So they
Give
thought
them,
that was
give
what
them
we happened.
100 and something years.
Yes.
Sorry,
But
we are joined by Victor. Victor is in Enugu. Victor, good afternoon. Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody.
All right then.
You all, Baba Jide, and others. Please, I want to deviate a little from your topic. There's information I'm looking for. Jide, please, what can you tell us about the security situation in Northwest, Northeast? And again, how about the...
You'll get there,
Don't preempt us. We'll deal with it. We are saying softly, House of Reps. The natural thing to do is to listen to the rhythm. You know, civics as a subject in our schools should be able to handle this. Not to decree that anti-corruption fight should become something you inject into the... Please.
And then they should play most effort.
And then they should
that
come
the
up
others
with
of government.
laws
Yes, that will
punish
make it
corruption a
Yes.
lot more.
That's it. Oh, okay.